Months ago, we talked about the rapid adaptation couples hoping to wed had to make to accommodate a pandemic. We're happy to welcome back Kayla Williams, owner of MOD Events Charleston, with an update on what the new normal has become for the wedding industry. Now, Kayla, since the last time we talked, did you ever imagine that we would be here today, so many months later, and still having to observe certain protocol?
Never. I never thought I would be doing an interview in my guest room where you can see the playmat for my kids. So, yeah, this is a whole new world we're living in.
And how different does that make it for a wedding planner? It kind of, to me, I mean, you can always find joy in the work, but it seems to take a little bit of fun out of the process.
It's a little harder since we're not meeting directly with clients as much. Obviously, we're keeping contact kind of limited. And it's a whole other world for brides who were so close to the finish line and then had to adjust so many things. So it's definitely been an interesting process. Vendors in Charleston and everywhere have really kind of caught a lot of, had so many issues of rescheduling and figuring out what to do. And now we're finally getting back into doing weddings, and it's exciting and different, but it's still good. We're still celebrating love, and that's what matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like that note. Are people now having to book larger venues while keeping the same amount of people, only with a seat in between them? Or how
We're
have things
definitely
changed?
scaling things back a little bit. I find that a lot of our clients have scaled their numbers down just to try and make sure it works. A lot of the venues are doing a great job of making sure that we're keeping tables apart and really changing the way food is prepared even. Some of the great caterers are doing amazing things. I mean, Handy and Salt House both we've been to their kitchens lately, and they've been talking about all the things that they're doing to really make sure that they keep the guests safe. I mean, now there's partitions kind of keeping people from just going straight up. You're not going to walk in and see a big fruit and cheese display that people can touch anymore. So
Yeah.
It's just everybody's kind of taking a lot of steps and precautions just to make sure that we keep your guests safe and that people can come to weddings and not feel uncomfortable and be worried.
Right. And I want to talk about how some of those changes have been taking place and what you've been hearing from your brides and grooms in their efforts to adapt and also to maintain the happy party that it's supposed to be. But I mean, some stories have made the headlines where they launched a news helicopter to fly over someone's house, not here in the Low Country, I'm talking about on the West Coast, but it was a massive party in someone's backyard. I believe it was a wedding. And you just had people mixing and mingling and going around to the buffet, and I just absolutely zero observance of any kind of social distancing whatsoever. Do you have any of those rogue clients that say, you know what, everybody's fine as long as their temperature's taken at the door? I still want my party to go on the way I always dreamed.
I've definitely seen clients who are kind of like, all right, enough is enough. I've already rescheduled. Let's just do this. If they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. But, I think the vendors in Charleston have done so many things to change the way guest experience has really become, like they're still dancing. People are still drinking at weddings. Like it's still a wedding. But, there are a lot of precautions being taken. And so, it's always scary. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Every time I walk into a wedding, I'm a little like, ooh, but we're all masked. Guests are being really smart about it. And honestly, how long are you going to put your life on hold? I mean,
Right.
If you want to start a family, are you supposed to wait 2 years? Is COVID going anywhere? I mean,
Right.
It's hard to know what to do. But at the same time, people are being really smart and taking as many precautions as they can.
In what way would you say now, as a wedding planner, as a professional in this industry, that you're making those accommodations? Can you give us some examples of how receptions and ceremonies are looking different these days?
For sure. So ceremonies now, we're spacing chairs apart. We're not putting people right beside each other. There have been ceremonies. We did a wedding a month ago where everyone who entered the church had a mask on. And we kind of policed it and made sure everyone who walked inside had a mask on. At most churches now, it's every other pew, and they really want you to sit with only your family. So we're really doing a lot of little things just for ceremony, but then Also at reception, our staff we wear a mask completely the entire time. We have hand sanitizer stations set up all around the room. We also have little baskets with masks for people who want one. We are trying to get people to wear a mask when they go up to a server, when they are going up to the bar. And bars and stations now at most places have those plexiglass shields, so you can't even, I mean, the bartender can hand you their drink, but you're not right in their face anymore. So it definitely looks different, but it doesn't change the tone of the wedding. Honestly, if you saw these shields, you'd be like, wow, those are some really fancy plexiglass shields. Yeah. We're really still trying to make it beautiful, and it's still a wedding. We still want it to look great. Sure. And guests are, just finding new ways to do things. I mean, even my wedding in July, Sarah and Jesse had many hand sanitizer bottles for every guest. So as they came in,
the new memento that people can take away with them. Cute. Oh, exactly. That's adorable. Yeah, those and masks. And I mean, you can personalize just about anything. And in this age of a pandemic, why not hand sanitizer and masks? Kayla, I want to thank you so much. Of course, we're going to share information on how people can find your services. I know that you've got what it takes to make any situation beautiful. So no doubt your weddings are looking fabulous, even in this crazy age that we're living in. Thank you so much, Kayla. It's good to see you again.
Thank you so much.